What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I want to make a video on the past, the present, and the future of Wear OS. Now, even if you love Android and you love Android smartwatches and you love that Android ecosystem, and that is certainly me, you have to admit that the Apple Watch has had a little bit of a lead over Wear OS for quite a while now. And if you look at the past, you'll see a lot of smartwatches like the Fossil Sport, and that didn't even have 1 GB of RAM. So things would lag, there would be a lot of hiccups, and the processor was just very, very slow, whether it's the Snapdragon 3100 or the 3000 or even past Android Wear OS processors. They just have not been very fast. So a lot of people used Wear OS one time and they said, I'm done with it, this is way too laggy and slow, and I'm never going to buy a $300 watch again or a $200 smartwatch. And ever since then, we have seen a lot of people that just think Wear OS is terrible, and really, it has been terrible for quite a while now. Now, I do want to make it clear that Wear OS is much better now than it used to be in the past. So I really enjoy using my smartwatches. I currently have the Skagen Falster 3, and it has 1 GB of RAM. You have the Fossil Gen 5. I've also used that, and it has 1 GB of RAM, and things overall are pretty smooth in my experience using them. I think Google has done a good job to improve Wear OS. I think the software is a lot better than it used to be, and things are fairly smooth overall. And even with those older processors, I still get about a day to 2 days of battery life as long as I turn on and off some settings that will use a little bit of extra battery. But a lot of us, we know we shouldn't have to compromise, and even though the smartwatch experience is better, especially for someone like me who just checks my watch occasionally for notifications, a lot of you out there, you want a premium smartwatch experience. And I was so excited when I saw that Google event. I was excited when I saw Google partnering with Samsung, and of course, Google owns Fitbit as well. So we are getting a brand new OS. It is exciting to finally see Google taking Wear OS seriously, because for years now we've seen them go very silent on Wear OS. And over the past few months we've seen watchmakers not even make new watches, and we were wondering why. Why was the Fossil Gen 6 not coming earlier? Why were we not getting all these new smartwatches? And we now have the answer, because they probably didn't want to release a new smartwatch that wouldn't work with the new operating system, or maybe they didn't want to do all the work to create an update for it so that it would work with the new operating system. Instead, a lot of them decided to stand pat, let the operating system take its place, and they would make smartwatches later. So we are going to get a Fossil Gen 6, it looks like, in the fall. We are also getting a new Samsung smartwatch. It also looks like in the fall or right towards the end of summer. So there's a lot of great things that are coming out right now. We're going to get, I believe it's 3 new Samsung smartwatches, at least that's what the rumor mill says. We're also going to get at least some Fossil Gen 6 watches, and we also just saw the new Ticwatch E3 that just released. Now, when we think about the future and what's coming up, that does remind us about the present. And I want to remind you, do not buy a Wear OS smartwatch today. Now, there is maybe one exception, and that is the Ticwatch E3. So it's not a perfect smartwatch, but it does run on that new Snapdragon 4100. Based on the intel that I've seen, we should see updates for the Ticwatch 3 Pro and the new Ticwatch E3. Those are the only 2 smartwatches that I do believe are going to get the new update to the new OS. And it's simply because they run a faster processor that can handle it. So Fossil has already confirmed that their smartwatches from the past, they are not going to get the new Wear OS update. And I'm sure other companies are going to follow suit. I've got the Skagen Falster 3 here, and I don't think it's going to get the update since that company is owned by Fossil. So unfortunately for a lot of you, your present is really bad because a lot of you bought these smartwatches and they are not going to get updates. And I know that can be disappointing for so many of you, but the future of Wear OS is looking very, very bright, and it is a bright day in Wear OS land. Now, I hope that a lot of these companies like Fossil, they do some type of trade-in program where you do get a good amount off the new watch. Hopefully they do something like that to help all of us out. But I do expect them to discount all their smartwatches like crazy, right? So I got this Skagen Falster 3 for like $130, and it has the same 1 GB of RAM that you see in the Fossil Gen 5. So yeah, it's a great deal overall. But wait a second, if I buy this could be a paperweight in a year from now. It could be a paperweight in 2 years from now, or whenever they cut off support for these older watches. Or in general, you're just not future-proofing yourself because there's a lot of great new features that are coming to these new watches. So why would you buy a current Wear OS smartwatch? The only reason I would consider it if I were you, if you really need a smartwatch to get yourself by and you get a great deal for around $100, just keep in mind that it may be a sunk cost in a year or so from now. But hey, if you do buy one of those smartwatches for a great deal, it's not too bad if you know, again, it's a sunk cost in the future. But if you are looking at it and you see something like the Ticwatch E3 or the Ticwatch 3 Pro, you may buy that in hopes for future software updates, but that's always a bad idea because you never know what's going to happen. But I have seen enough intel where I do think they are going to get those updates. So the bottom line is the future is very bright. We are going to get Fitbit integration into these watches. We are going to get a better Wear OS platform. We're going to get the best of Samsung. We're going to get the best of Google. And finally, we're going to get newer processors because I see Samsung is working on a processor for their new smartwatches, and it looks like it's going to be great. It looks like it's going to be faster, and it could even have better battery life. So from all the leaks I'm seeing, not only are we going to have new processors, we're going to have a new Wear OS. So it is a very exciting time, but I will say again, the future is so much brighter in Wear OS, and I would not recommend settling for the present when the future is only a month or two away. But if you are going to settle, you might want to settle on something like the Ticwatch E3 or the Ticwatch 3 Pro because I do suspect that they will get those updates. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for all of your support. I'm really just at my parents' house right now trying to enjoy a nice week here, so I decided to give you a video anyway. I wanted to give you some new content, so I know it's not a perfect backdrop or anything like that. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please, again, give me a like and a sub. You could also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/digestandroid, and I really need some Twitter followers who care actually about Twitter. That would be great, who actually care about Android content, because a lot of people I like or I follow, they sadly post about Apple all the time. So I need some Android people on my page, so please like that, follow me there. And if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Have a great day and enjoy your week.